Welcome back to MKE Gadgets. Today we're going to do a fabrication project. And before we get into that, I ask that you could support me by subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. So today's project, we're going to fabricate a rack for my vice grips. I really like these vice grips. They're easy to use one hand. You can hit the release. You can clamp them. One of the criteria for this rack is that I can retrieve any vice grip at any time with one hand. So I'll be able to lock and unlock it on the rack. For material, I bought some A36 hot rolled, 1/8 inch by 1 by 48 long, and we're not going to use all of that, but I'm going to need 2 pieces. And the crossbar between those 2 pieces is going to be a piece of angle iron bed frame that I got off the curb. Besides the vice grips, I also have some bigger welding clamps I want to put on the rack. So I want to make it large enough for those. You never know what clamps you're going to pick up in the future, so it has to be large enough for expansion. I would also like to add a holder for my Welper pliers. So I have a piece of pipe cut off. If I can weld that to the rack, that would be a bonus. So off to the scroll machine, we're going to do a little bending. So over here at the hand scrolling machine, we're going to scroll 2 pieces of flat stock that are going to hold the crossbar that's going to hold the vice grips. The trick to scrolling is to make both pieces come out the same, or at least look the same. So with any luck, both pieces will come out looking the same. Place the first one on top of there, and it seems like I got a little more bending to do. And just a little more. That should be good. Let's take them off and compare. Well, the second one got bent a little bit more. So off camera, I'll straighten it out. Let's now turn our attention to the opposite end. And the prototype has a bent hook like that. I'm going to try to do the same thing on this end. Those 2 turned out pretty well. Let's go in the welding room and hang this and see how it turned out. So I just placed this angle iron in here to see how I like the height from the floor and also the height off the ceiling. One of my criteria for this rack is I had to be able to hang and retrieve a vice grip with one hand. And that will clamp on nice like that, and I can come here and open it. So that's going to work out pretty well. These bigger clamps are going to hook right into that angle iron. And I can just slide them down. I won't have to close them. I can just grab them and put them back. Same thing with these smaller clamps. I can just put them on there and slide them down. With everything mocked up, clamped and fitted, let's take it down and weld it together. First thing we're going to do is add a little tack right there, and that's going to be for my pliers. Second, I'll put a little weld in here. And the last weld will be in this corner here. With everything tacked up, and that's the way I'm going to leave it for a while, I want to make sure I like the height and the width, and I can easily cut off the tacks and weld it permanently. All there is to do is add the clamps. These little ones I'll add on the end. And the last thing I'm going to add is my wipers. So I'm going to live with this configuration for a while before I do my final welding. I think it's enough room for all my clamps, and there's even room for future growth. This is MKE Gadgets. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm making a vice grip rack. Check out my other videos. I have over 100 on YouTube. Please support me by subscribing. And thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.